In my last 3 videos, I told jokes about guitarists, bassists, and drummers. In this video, I'm telling all the other music-related jokes that I know. And since musicians are so easy to make fun of, I've got lots of them. Most of these are just jokes I've heard over the years, but I've also sprinkled in a few originals that I made up myself. Let me know in the comments if you think you know which jokes are mine and which ones you've heard before. Now here are 63 hilarious music-related jokes. Why did the musician get arrested? Because he got in trouble. Why does Snoop Dogg carry an umbrella? For drizzle. How do you find Will Smith in the snow? Look for Fresh Prince. What has 54 legs and 23 teeth? The first row of a country concert. What's the difference between a keyboardist and a pigeon? One has the ability to make a deposit on a new car. How do you know when a lead singer is knocking at the door? Because he doesn't know when to come in and he can't find his key. How many jazz musicians does it take to change a light bulb? None, because none of them can afford a bulb. Why did the robbers break into the music store? So they could steal the loot. What is Beethoven doing right now? Decomposing. Everyone told Beethoven that he couldn't be a musician because he was deaf, but he didn't listen. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. Why couldn't Beethoven find his music teacher? Because he was hiding. Which concert only cost 45 cents? A concert featuring 50 Cent and Nickelback. What does Jerry Lee Lewis's favorite musical term have in common with his third wife? They're both a relative minor. What's the definition of a gentleman? Someone who knows how to play the accordion, but doesn't. What is a bassoon good for? Kindling for an accordion fire. What's the difference between an accordion player and a terrorist? Terrorists have sympathizers. What's the difference between an accordion and a trampoline? You have to take your shoes off to jump on a trampoline. What's the definition of perfect pitch? When you throw a banjo in the garbage and it lands perfectly on top of an accordion. What's the difference between a banjo and an onion? No one cries when you chop the banjo into pieces. Why did the band hire a baseball player? Because he had perfect pitch. Why couldn't the printer stop making music? Because the paper kept jamming. What kind of music are balloons afraid of? Pop music. What song do all vampires hate? House of the Rising Sun. What song do all tornadoes love? The Twist. Why are pirates such good singers? Because they can hit the high seas. What is a pirate's favorite instrument? The guitar. What is every rapper's favorite adhesive? Mixed tape. What kind of song do the planets sing? Neptunes. What do you get when you drop a piano down a mine shaft? A flat minor. What do you get when you drop a piano on a military base? A flat major. What's the difference between a bull and an orchestra? With the bull, the horns are in the front and the asshole is in the back. Why is a conductor the same as a condom? It's safer with one, but more fun without. Why do prisoners make such bad musicians? They're always behind a few bars. Why can't violins be heard in a symphony orchestra's recording? Because the first thing an audio engineer does is remove any annoying noises. How do you know you're being kissed by a French horn player? She tries to stick her fist up your ass. How many folk singers does it take to change a light bulb? 6. 1 to change the bulb and 5 to sing about how good the old one was. 2 windmills are standing in a field. One asks the other, "What kind of music do you like?" It replies, "I'm a big metal fan." How many indie hipsters does it take to change a light bulb? It's an obscure number, you probably haven't heard of it. What's the favorite band of every Jehovah's Witness? The Doors. Why couldn't the string quartet find their composer? Because he was hiding. Why couldn't the classical musician concentrate at the tavern? There was too much bar talk. I've got so many classical composer jokes, I could write you a list. In fact, I've got more classical composer jokes than you can even handle. Why didn't Handel go shopping? Because he was Baroque. Why did Mozart get rid of his chickens? Because they kept saying, "Bach, Bach, Bach, Bach." Did you hear about the musician who committed suicide? He didn't even leave a note. Middle C, E flat, and G walk into a bar. The bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve minors here." What's got 10 legs and 9 arms? Def Leppard. What mythical creature is the best at keeping time? A metronome. What type of music do golf clubs listen to? Swing. What type of music do frogs and rabbits listen to? Hip-hop. Where do pianists like to go on vacation? The Florida Keys. Why did the cow start taking piano lessons? Because he wanted to be a musician. How do you make a bandstand? Take away their chairs. Why do bagpipers walk while they play? To get away from the awful noise. When I was young, I wanted to play the guitar really badly. Now, decades later, I can honestly say that I can play the guitar really badly. I sprained a finger playing the piano today. But, on the other hand, I'm fine. What's the difference between a saxophone and a lawnmower? Your neighbor gets mad if you don't return the mower after borrowing it. What's the difference between a high school music teacher and a chimpanzee? It's been scientifically proven that chimps can communicate with humans. Why do fish make good musicians? Because they know their scales. What's the difference between a fiddle and a violin? Who cares? Neither one is a guitar. What do you call it when a group of lizards try to form a band? A reptile dysfunction. Do you know any good music-related jokes that I missed? Tell me in the comments. Thanks for watching. Please share this video with friends who might like it on social media or by tagging a friend in the comments. Share everywhere to make people aware. Share here, share there, share anywhere. I swear it's fair. Thanks, be well, take care.